What if I told you the return of Doctor Who in 2005, the very season that saved the franchise, also carried one of its biggest flaws? A flaw so small you might have missed it, but so deep, it changed the way the Doctor's companions would be written forever. It's a problem that made Rose Tyler both one of the most beloved and one of the most controversial companions in the show's entire history. And if Doctor Who tried to do the same thing in 2025, fans wouldn't just notice, they'd revolt. This is the story of the problem with Doctor Who Season 1 that wouldn't fly today. Let's travel back to where it all began. It's 2005. The TARDIS door creaks open after 16 years of silence. Christopher Eccleston steps out, leather jacket, haunted eyes, and the weight of the Time War written all over his face. This wasn't your father's Doctor. And beside him, a 19-year-old girl from London, Rose Tyler, played by Bill Lee Piper. Rose was the human heart of the new era. She wasn't just a sidekick, she was the audience. We saw the universe through her eyes, felt the danger through her fear, and rediscovered the Doctor's magic through her awe. Fans loved her instantly, and critics praised Doctor Who for finally giving its companion depth, emotion, and agency. But hidden beneath the applause, something darker was brewing. Because Rose wasn't just a companion anymore, she was becoming something else, something the Doctor didn't even see coming. At first, it's innocent. Rose is bored with life, a dead-end job, an ordinary boyfriend, a flat she doesn't care about. Then the Doctor bursts into her world, quite literally, with plastic mannequins coming to life and a bomb in her hands. It's thrilling, dangerous, addictive. And before long, the Doctor isn't just her friend. He's her entire world. She stops calling home. She ignores Mickey. She laughs at her mother's worries. The universe becomes her new playground, and the Doctor her only companion worth keeping. But here's the thing, that's not adventure, that's dependency. By the third episode, The Unquiet Dead, Rose is already ready to die beside this strange alien she barely knows. And that's where the problem begins. Because Doctor Who Season 1 didn't just reinvent the companion, it made her lose herself. Her life, her relationships, her sense of identity, all erased in the glow of the TARDIS. It was romantic, it was tragic, but it was also dangerous storytelling. For decades, Doctor Who companions came and went. They'd travel for a while, grow wiser, and eventually choose to go home. Sarah Jane Smith, Jo Grant, Tegan Jovanka, they had lives outside the Doctor. They needed to. Rose Tyler, she couldn't even imagine life without him. And by the time David Tennant stepped in as the 10th Doctor, that dependence had evolved into something deeper, something like love. It made for incredible television, but in hindsight, it also broke the balance. The companion was no longer a partner, she was an echo. Her story didn't exist without the Doctor in it. And that's why in 2025 it wouldn't fly. Because audiences today crave independence. They want companions who can challenge the Doctor, not worship them. Who can walk away and still matter. Let's be honest. The Doctor isn't just a hero. They're a drug. A cosmic high. One moment you're living in London, the next you're stepping on alien soil and saving galaxies. For Rose, that high becomes everything. The thrill, the danger, the escape. But just like any addiction, there's a crash coming. Because what happens when the TARDIS leaves without you? What happens when the man who made your life extraordinary moves on? By the time Rose ends up in that parallel universe, crying as the Doctor fades into a ghost on the beach, it's not just a love story ending, it's a metaphor for dependency ending in heartbreak. The only reason she gets a happy ending, with a copy of the Doctor to take home, is because the writers couldn't bear to let her face the truth that sometimes growing up means letting go. After Rose, Doctor Who learned, it evolved. Martha Jones was the first to say no. She realized she deserved more than waiting for the Doctor to notice her, and she walked away. That moment redefined what it meant to be a companion. Donna Noble followed, fairy, hilarious, grounded. She wasn't in love with the Doctor, she was his equal. And when she lost her memories, it wasn't about romance. It was about friendship, tragedy, and identity. Amy had Rory, Clara had teaching, Bill had studying, Yaz had her family. Every companion after Rose had something that wasn't the Doctor. A life, a purpose, a reason to exist outside the blue box. And that's what made them stronger. So was Rose a mistake? No, far from it. She was a necessary chapter, because without Rose, we never would have realized the danger of putting the Doctor at the center of someone's universe. Her story was a mirror, showing us what happens when you trade your own life for someone else's adventure. And that's the brilliance of Doctor Who. It learns. It regenerates not just the faces, but the ideas. Rose Tyler walked so Donna Noble could run, so Yaz could stand her ground, so Ruby Sunday could say goodbye on her own terms. The show grew up because Rose didn't. In 2025, audiences wouldn't accept Rose's kind of story. Not because it's bad, but because we've changed. We want complexity. We want companions who choose to travel, not need to. Who see the Doctor not as a savior, but as a friend, flawed, brilliant, and deeply human. That's why today's Doctor, played by Ncuti Gatwa, travels with characters like Ruby and Belinda, people who remind him that even a Time Lord can't replace family or home or the beauty of an ordinary life. Because, as the Doctor once said, "I've never had a life like that." And maybe that's what makes the humans so special. So yes, Doctor Who Season 1 was revolutionary. It changed television, it revived a legend, but it also taught the show, and us, a painful truth that loving the Doctor too much can make you lose yourself. Rose Tyler remains one of the most iconic companions in history, but if Doctor Who tried to write her the same way today, it wouldn't fly. Because the future of the TARDIS isn't about running away, it's about knowing when to stop running. And maybe, just maybe, that's the greatest adventure of all. So, what do you think? Was Rose's story a beautiful tragedy, or a warning that modern Doctor Who has finally learned to overcome? Drop your thoughts below, hit subscribe for more deep dives into the 1’s, and I'll see you in time and space.